tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Okay, the reason why we study the Four Noble Truths under this meditation topic, the first Noble Truth is suffering, right? So we are meditating to remove suffering, to stop our suffering. So that's the reason why we are meditating, right? Meditating. So we need to know the reason why. So the first Noble Truth, we have a suffering in our life. Physical suffering and mental suffering, right? And we meditate because we want to attain cessation of suffering. The third Noble Truth, right? The third Noble Truth. So meditation means to develop the Noble Eightfold Path. The Fourth Noble Truth. The Fourth Noble Truth. So when you want to know what is meditation, you need to know the Noble Eightfold Path. So you need to develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path. So that is the Fourth Noble Truth. So by developing the Noble Eightfold Path, you will be able to abandon the original suffering. Second Noble Truth, right? Second Noble Truth. So we are suffering because we have the original suffering. Three types of craving. So if you can remove three types of craving, your suffering will be ceased. To cease your suffering, you need to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, right? So that's the reason why. So we are studying the Noble Eightfold Path. So the Noble Eightfold Path is a very important teaching in Buddhism. So in the first sermon, so the Buddha talked about the Noble Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. So we call it the first sermon is in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Actually, last week I talked about a little bit about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So it is found in two places in the Pali Canon. One is in Mahāvaka Pali or Vinaya Pitaka. According to Palita Society, Vinaya Pitaka Volume 1, page number 10 to 12, according to Palita Society. But according to tradition means according to Theravada tradition, we normally consider as a volume 3. Palita Society trying to change volume 1. The reason is the volume 1 or Mahāvaka Pali recorded the history of the Buddha. How the Buddha attained enlightenment, how the Buddha spread his teaching, how the Buddha laid down Vinaya rules. So that therefore, Palita Society consider as a Mahāvaka Pali as a volume 1. Okay, that just for knowledge. So the first sermon can be found in two places. One is in Mahāvaka Pali or Vinaya Pitaka. Another one is Sautta Nikaya or Satya Sanyutta or Sautta Nikaya. Sutta Nikaya, chapter 56, Sutta number 11, 2 places. So the Sutta I send it to you is a Sutta Nikaya, chapter 56, Sutta number 11, translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi. Bhikkhu Bodhi. So the Four Noble Truths is explained in details in following suttas. So actually in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta explain the Four Noble Truths in brief. But it is explained in details in Satya Sanyutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 141. Satya Vibhangami, analysis of Four Noble Truths. So this Sutta analyze what is the first Noble Truth, second Noble Truth, third and fourth Noble Truth, like that. Another one is Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 22. Under the Dhammanupassana, contemplation of the phenomena, right? Phenomena. Another one is a Vibhanga text in Abhidhamma text. Second Abhidhamma text, Vibhanga, page number 99 to 105. So these are the places that you can find detailed analysis on Four Noble Truths. If you want to know a little bit further, you can read Visuddhimagga, chapter 60, paragraph number 32 to 83. So many paragraphs. So it is, we call it Panya Bhumi chapter. Panya Bhumi. It is a detailed analysis of wisdom. Panya, wisdom, So under the wisdom, Venerable Buddha goes out trying to analyze the Noble Eightfold Path in details. Later we'll quote some of them. So therefore, if you want to know teachings of the Buddha, Visuddhimagga is important, because Visuddhimagga trying to analyze important teachings of the Buddha. Okay, so now we want to know the contents of the first sermon. So what are the contents in the first sermon? It is divided into 3 parts. Number 1, the first sermon mentioned two extremes. So that should be avoided, as the one who has gone forth into homelessness. In Pali, papacita. Homelessness. If you want to become in monastics, monks or nuns, you have to renounce your house. That's called papacita. Normally we are homeless. So if you want to become a monk or a nun, you have to renounce. We have to renounce your house, your family. You have to stay away from your family, Therefore, we call it renunciation, right? Renunciation. Renunciation in Pali, we call it nikkama. Nikkama is one of the parami, perfection. One of the perfection, right? So even Prince Siddhartha have to renounce palace, family, all the belongings, right? All the belongings. Therefore, we call it renunciation. So the word papacita also same connotation. So here, have gone for into homelessness is monastics. So if you are a monastic, so you have to avoid two extremes. If you are lay person, you don't need to. You don't need to. But of course, even as a lay person, you can practice renunciation, right? You can live like a monk. Some people are doing that, right? Some people are doing that. So when you go to meditation retreat, you have to renounce, right? Some people renounce their house, their family for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, right? It is considered as a renunciation, papajita. So remember that the Buddha is talking to a group of 5 monks, right? Group of 5 monks. If you are lay devotee, it's okay to enjoy sensual pleasures, right? You don't need to avoid two extremes. But even as a lay person, if you want to practice renunciation, you need to avoid two extremes. Later we'll talk about it in detail. Then second part, in the first sermon, second part is declaration or discovery of the middle path, Majjhima Patipara. So the Buddha declared that he discovered the middle path, which is a very important one, Majjhima Patipara. The middle path. And next one is a declaration of discovery of the Noble Eightfold Path. So these are the contents of the first sermon. First, the Buddha said that we need to avoid two extremes if you are a monastics. Second, so the Buddha declared discovery of the Noble Eightfold Path. We call it here, the Buddha call it the middle path, Majjhima Patipada. And thirdly, the Buddha declared the discovery of the Noble Eightfold Path, Ariya Satcha. So these are the contents of the first sermon. So I think even you don't read the Sutta, I think today you have to learn. Huh? Okay, so what are the two extremes? According to Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Sorry. So the Buddha said that bhikkhus, these two extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. So if you renounce, if you become a monastics or renunciants, so you shouldn't follow two extremes. What two? Number one, the pursuit of sensual happiness in sensual pleasures. Kamesu, kamasukhanlikanuyogam. So if you are in monastics, even as a lay person, if you want to renounce sensual pleasures, you have to pursue, you don't have to pursue sensual happiness in sensual pleasures. So the Buddha called it, which is low, vaga, the way of worldlings, the way of normal people, ignoble, and beneficent. So here, remember that the Buddha is talking to a group of 5 monks. Huh? We have to remember. Normally, people are doing job and making money to enjoy sensual pleasures, right? This is a normal, right? Worldlings, right? This is the practice of normal people, lay people, right? If you want to become noble person, if you want to attain Nibbana, you need to avoid the extreme of sensual happiness in sensual pleasures. So therefore, when you look at monastic life, we have a lot of rules and regulations, right? We have to avoid listening music, watching movie, watching football match, etc. And we are homeless. We don't have any home, no family. So therefore, as a monastics, as the one who gone forth, so we have to avoid sensual happiness in sensual pleasures, right? We don't have to enjoy sensual pleasures. We have to stay away from sensual pleasures. Also, if you want to get lasting happiness, or in other words, the bliss of Nibbana, you need to reduce the amount of sensual happiness in sensual pleasures, right? Sensual pleasures. So that is one extremes we need to avoid. Second one, the pursuit of self-mortification or self-torment, which is painful, ignoble, and beneficial. The pursuit of self-mortification. As you know that after leaving the palace, the Buddha took to the wood and find so many teachers, right? Hoping that he will find out the end of suffering. He will find out the Nibbana, the path to Nibbana. And he followed, right? He met Uddaka and Alara and Uddaka, right? And he learned the practices that achieve jhanas, right? Jhanas. After attaining the jhana, the Buddha by that time thought that it is not the path to cessation of suffering. It's not the path to Nibbana. So therefore, he left his teachers and he went to Niranjara river, near the Niranjara river. And he practiced, he followed so many self-modification practices, right? He tortured his body. He reduced the food, right? He reduced the food. He eat 1 grain of rice a day, 1 grain of bean a day, like that. 1 grain is not very big one, The Buddha made sure, when the Buddha is talking to Venerable Sariputta, the Buddha said that you might think that 1 grain of bean is so big, you might think, no. Just normal, a grain of bean, a grain of fruit, one fruit like that. I think many of you have seen, the image of the Buddha. Ultimately, the Buddha body became a pile of bones, right? The Buddha said that when the Buddha touched his belly, and he touched his backbone, So his head became, it's very, I want to say, like a kind of fruit, which is a drying fruit, I forgot in English. So you have seen some picture, right? Some picture of even ultimately the Buddha fell down, because of lack of food. And before that, also the Buddha followed so many self-torment practices, just like he trying to pull out his hair. He believed that by that time many ascetics believe that if you torture your body and there's no way for defilements in the mind to arise. If you torture your body in the hot weather, you sit down under the hot sun. In the winter, you sit down on the ground without any cover. You pull out your hair. You pull out your hair. And also you do not take a shower. You do not take a bath. Because Bodhisattva think that if he take a shower, some insect living in his body will die. The Buddha, Buddha to be, Prince Siddhartha, do not take a shower. Out of compassion to insect living in his body. When the Buddha said, when he was walking, he is mindful. He may not step on the tiny creature on the ground. So actually, when you want to know self-modification practices or settlement practices, you can read some of the sutta, Maha Tokkakkhanda Sutta, especially Mahasachaka Sutta and Bodhirajakumara Sutta. So in those sutta, the Buddha mentioned self-modification practices. He followed all those practices sincerely, hoping that he will make the end of suffering. He will attain Nibbana. He do it sincerely, Ultimately, he trying to reduce the food. Ultimately, he fall down on the ground. Then Bodhisattva, Prince Siddhartha, realized that self-modification practices are one extreme as a monastic need to avoid. So he learned that. So therefore, he learned two extremes. So if someone is following two extremes, cannot make the end of suffering, cannot attain Nibbana. So that means if you want to make the end of suffering, you need to avoid two extremes. As you know that Prince Siddhartha, he enjoyed sensual pleasures at the palace, right? He had 3 palaces, one for the winter, one for the summer, one for the rainy season. So the whole year he will not come down from the mansions. He enjoyed sensual pleasures. Later he learned that those sensual pleasures will not create real happiness, or will not bring him to attain Nibbana. So then he renounced all these sensual pleasures and follow self-modification practices, right? Until he fall down, until he fainted. Then after that, the Buddha himself practiced to attain jhanas again. After attaining jhana, he inclined his mind to know his previous life. Then also, the Buddha inclined his mind to know the life of other beings going around in samsara. Because of that happened. He understood dependent origination. He understood suffering, the cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the path that leads to cessation of suffering. So therefore, in the first sermon, the Buddha declared that he has discovered the Noble Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths, right? So in the first sermon, the Buddha said that we need to avoid two extremes. And the Buddha said that without veering toward either of the extremes, that the Tathagata has discovered the middle path or the middle way, Majjhima Patipara. Without veering toward either of these extremes, without following two extremes, the Tathagata has discovered the Noble Eightfold Path. If you follow the Noble Eightfold Path, so you will make the end of suffering. You will attain cessation of suffering, or you will attain Nibbana. Nibbana, the middle path, the middle way, Majjhima Patipada. And the Buddha said that which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, which lead to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. So all these are synonyms of enlightenment and Nibbana. So when you look at these usage, you can see that peace and Nibbana, so they are synonyms. And the other, I want to say, expression like a vision, knowledge, direct knowledge, enlightenment, all these are synonyms, which talk about enlightenment, understanding, wisdom. So if you have enlightenment or understanding, you will experience the bliss of Nibbana. You will experience peace in your mind. So therefore, the Noble Eightfold Path is very important in Buddhism. Okay, up to now, any question regarding with the two extremes? Two extremes. No question. Huh? When you are doing dharana with a generosity, generous mind, you are following the Noble Eightfold Path. When you are observing sila, you are following the Noble Eightfold Path. When you are meditating, of course, you are following the Noble Eightfold Path. Right? So therefore, our topic, dana, sila, bhavana, which cover all the teachings of the Buddha. All the teachings of the Buddha. So here, the Buddha discovered the middle path or the Noble Eightfold Path. So what are the Noble Eightfold Path in brief? As you know that the first one is a right view, samadhi, right view or right understanding. If you have a right view, then you will have a right intention in your mind. So therefore, right view is important to have right intention in your mind. In your mind, sammasankappa. So according to Chula Vedana Sutta, right view and right intention are under wisdom, panya. According to Chula Vedana Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 44. When you have a right intention or right thought in your mind, you will have a right speech, right bodily action, and right livelihood. Everything depends on your intention, right? So your intention depends on your view or your understanding. So according to Chula Vedana Sutta, right speech, right action, right livelihood are morality or sila. Morality or sila, right? So we already learned morality, right? Morality is to control our speech and our bodily action, right? Not to tell lie, not to kill, not to indulge in sensual pleasure, sexual misconduct, etc., right? So therefore, here, not only right speech and right action, but also right livelihood. So this will be under Sila, morality, Sila. Then you will have, if you have a right view and right intention, you will also have a right effort. Your effort will be right. Your mindfulness will be right. Your concentration will be right. Right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. You also have a wrong concentration, wrong concentration. Someone who use drag, drag. Their mind is concentrated, right? Right? So therefore, we have a wrong concentration. They have a mindfulness. Also, wrong mindfulness we have, right? So according to Chula Vedana Sutta, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration are under concentration. Under concentration. So therefore, when we summarize teachings of the Buddha into 3 words, morality, concentration, and wisdom, right? Right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. So later, when we talk about the Noble Eightfold Path, we will study in details. What is right view? What is right intention according to the suttas? Not according to my opinion, according to the suttas. So when you have the Noble Eightfold Path, when you are practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, then you will have, number 9, right knowledge. Your knowledge or understanding will be right. We call it samanyana. Samanyana. When you have a right knowledge or right understanding, this is also wisdom. This is also wisdom, higher wisdom. When you have a right knowledge or right understanding, you have a right liberation. Your mind will be liberated in a right way. In a right way. We also have a wrong liberation, right? Wrong liberation. Some people, they have a lot of stress, a lot of problem in their job. After their job, they drink alcohol. They forgot, right? They forgot their problem, maybe for some time, So therefore, they say that. So they can escape their problem, their stress, certain extent, to certain extents. So therefore, so when your mind is liberated from current your problem, for some time, that will be wrong liberation. Your liberation is wrong because based on lobha, right? You drink alcohol, you're breaking sila. So therefore, it's a wrong liberation. Only you have a right knowledge or right understanding, then you have a right liberation. So when you look at here, number 9, right knowledge, it's nothing but enlightenment. Enlightenment. In Abhidhamma, we call it Magga and Phala, right? The path and the fruit. The path and the fruit. But right liberation is nothing but Nibbana. Liberation means Vimukti. Vimukti is synonym of the word Nibbana. So attaining Nibbana means, obtaining Nibbana means your mind is liberated from craving. Your mind is liberated from suffering. Right? Suffering. In your life, you may have some problem, some suffering, some difficulty in your life. But if your mind is liberated from those problems, that will be right liberation, right? Right liberation. Also, we will study the topic on Nibbana in details, quoting some of the suttas, some of the quotas. So the Noble Eightfold Path, according to following Chula Vilana Sutta, Visuddhimagga also analyzed the Noble Eightfold Path using threefold trainings: right view, right intention, or wisdom; right speech, right action, right livelihood, sila, morality; right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, samadhi, right? Concentration, samadhi. The number 9 and number 10, they are not the path. They are not the path. The result of the path. Okay, regarding with the Noble Eightfold Path, I want to quote one of the, I think, beautiful one. Professor T.W. Reed David. Professor Reed David is very famous. He was a British scholar of the Pali language and also founder of Palita Society. Founder of Palita Society. He translated so many Pali canon, including Digha Nikaya and Milinapanya, and so many things he translated. He was a British Christian, and he went to Sri Lanka to work as a government officer. So he had a contact with the Buddhism and became interested, learned the Buddhist teaching. Later he thought that. So he liked Buddhist teaching, so therefore he underwent a translation project, English translation. Even now, the Palita Society stay popular, stay famous. So he is considered as one of the well-known Buddhist scholar. So when we study in the university, so we have to learn about him and also his statement, how he commented about certain topic. So we have to study. So regarding with the Noble Eightfold Path, Professor Reed David said this one. I took it from the Buddha in his teaching book, page number 159. Professor said that Buddhist or no Buddhist, I have examined every one of the great religious system of the world. He himself is a Christian, and also he examined important teachings of world religions. He was a professor regarding with the Buddhist, religious philosophy in Manchester University. He said that I have examined every one of the great religious systems of the world, and in none of those have I found anything to surpass in beauty and comprehensiveness the Noble Eightfold Path of the Buddha. That means the Noble Eightfold Path is the most beautiful and comprehensive in the world. He didn't find anything like the Noble Eightfold Path in other religions. And he said that I am content to shape my life according to that path. So that means he is a real Buddhist. He followed the Noble Eightfold Path. He shaped his life according to the Noble Eightfold Path. So that means if you want to become a good Buddhist, a real Buddhist, you need to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. If you are following other things, no, you are just a normal so-called Buddhist, so-called Buddhist. So-called Buddhist. A few years ago, I read an article about atheists in Singapore in New Straits Times. Straits Times. Straits Times talk about atheists. Some people come from Buddhism, some come from Christian, some come from Islam. Atheist. Then one day, she converted to Christianity from Buddhism at the age of 30. She said that at the age of 30, she became Christian. Earlier, she was a Buddhist. She said that she looked at rites and rituals followed by her parents, her grandparents. They are nonsense. They are nonsense. As you know, there are so many rites and rituals followed by Buddhists. She found it difficult to accept it. So therefore, she became Christian. At the age of 70, she found it difficult to accept the Creator God. So therefore, she became atheist. No religion, free thinker. So when you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, there's no rites and ritual, right? You don't need to burn, you don't need to burn the paper. You don't need to burn the incense or joss-stick, etc., right? Even you don't need to offer the flower, water to the Buddha. You don't need to offer food to the Buddha. You need to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Trying to have a right view. If you have a right view, your intention, your thought, your thinking will be right. When you have a right intention, you will have a right speech, right bodily action, right livelihood. Then you have a right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. There is no rites and ritual, right? There's no rites and rituals, Very simple, straightforward, straightforward. You can look at Dana Sila Bhavana, right? Generosity. You can give anyone, not only monks and nuns. You can give anyone. We already learned, right? You can give to your parents, to your children, to animals in your atoll. Even an insect in the in the drain, right? In the drain. So you can give generosity or giving. There's no rites and ritual, right? And second one, morality, right? Morality is controlling your speech and your bodily action. There's no rites and ritual, right? No rites and rituals. Suppose if you are faithful to your spouse, your family, so there will be no problem, right? No problem. That's a controlling your body, right? If you are not telling lie, then people will trust you. If you are not stealing, people will trust you. Like that. There's no rites and rituals. In meditation, purer, right? Quite pure. It is about developing and cultivating the Noble Eightfold Path. So when you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, there's no place for rites and rituals. Also, when you look at the threefold training, number one is morality, right? Morality. Morality means controlling your speech and body. Another one is concentration, samadhi, Samadhi is controlling your mind. Panya, wisdom. Wisdom is analyzing the nature of your mind and body. So there's no rites and rituals, right? Quite pure, quite pure. So therefore, when you really want to become a real Buddhist, eco-Buddhist, so you need to learn the Noble Eightfold Path. And you need to shape your life according to the Noble Eightfold Path. It doesn't mean we are not denouncing some of the rites and rituals we follow, right? We offer the flower because we are grateful to the Buddha, right? Because he gave a valuable teaching to us. We offer food to the Buddha out of gratitude, right? Out of gratitude. One time, one devotee asked me, we normally offer food to the Buddha. Who consume? I said that. The Buddha already passes away. The Buddha cannot consume the food, cannot eat that food. We offer the food for us. We offer the flower for us. So at home, you may have a shrine hall, right? You offer the flowers, beautiful flowers. The Buddha were not enjoying the flowers, It's for you, When you look at the flower at the shrine hall, you feel very happy, right? You feel very happy. So when you offer the fruit and food to the Buddha, you feel happy. That's all. Everything is for you, not for the Buddha. That's important to understand, right? So therefore, right view or right understanding is important, right? Right understanding is important. If you just follow rites and rituals, so there will be a lot of free thinker in Singapore, just like a young girl, right? So she look at how their parents are doing, rites and rituals. They are nonsense. So therefore, they became free thinker. So when you look at Mr. Reed David, he is a government officer from England, and he learned teachings of the Buddha. And he said, there is nothing like the Noble Eightfold Path in terms of beauty, in terms of comprehensiveness, right? Comprehensiveness. So here my point is, the Noble Eightfold Path is a valuable teaching. If you want to become a good Buddhist, you need to follow it. What is meditation? Meditation means to develop the Noble Eightfold Path in your mind. You need to increase the Noble Eightfold Path by way of learning, right? By way of practicing. If you have a more mindfulness, more concentration, you are a good Buddhist. If you are observing sila, like a right speech, right action, right livelihood, then you are a good Buddhist, right? So you came to temple and attend puja. Why? To strengthen your faith, right? Most importantly, to learn the Dhamma. To learn the Dhamma and to practice, to put it into practice. That's the most important things, right? Okay, any question up to now? Okay, no question. Then let's continue to learn another topic. Okay, why not? Okay.
Hello, Bante. One question actually about the earlier part. the two extremes.
Okay.
The second extreme was the self-mortification. I have a general question related to that. I'm thinking of the news about some monks in Tibet who self-immolate themselves, so they burn themselves to express, I think, some political beliefs regarding Tibet. My question is that consistent? Is that being extreme, or is not considered extreme?
Good question. Actually, we already learned, say, modification, they burn their body, right? So we already learned under the morality. Of course, now I will answer a little bit. If you want to know more detail, then you can listen our recordings. Of course, Tibet, it is nothing to do with the Buddhist teaching. So we can say that it is self-modification, or self-torment. And they burn their body and they show that, so they were oppressed in Tibet. And they want the world know that because of that. When people interview the Dalai Lama, whether it is in accordance with the Buddhist teaching, he answered that the oppression faced by Tibetan people is so desperate that they torture their body, they show to the world. But of course, not in accordance with the Buddhist teaching, I would say that. It can be a kind of self-modification. Sometimes there are some story, especially in Mahayana. One tigress is very hungry, so hungry that she wants to eat her own baby. Then a monk knows that, and he put his body, in front of the tigress, so that the tigress can eat his body. So, in that way, he can prevent eating of her own children, her own babies. Because of that, it comes from the compassion, great compassion toward the tigress. Especially in Mahayana, that such type of teaching, I think popular. It shows great compassion. So I will say that it depends on also it depends on our intention. If our intention is out of compassion, real compassion, or real loving kindness, in that sense, we cannot say self-mortification. When we talk about intention, we have to look at the original teachings of the Buddha. What is intention? Two things. To me, how to say? Not to them. To me, renunciation. Number one, renunciation. Renunciation is we call it aloba, non-greed. if you are doing something without greed, that will be right intention. You are doing with the right intention. Another one is with the non-hatred, without dosa, without dosa. When you are doing something without dosa, sometimes with the compassion, sometimes with the non-violence, we call it adosa, non-hatred. So that will be right intention. So we have to look at Tibetan people, whether they are doing with the aloba, non-greed, or adosa, non-hatred. We have to look at their mind. Their mind. Normally, they do based on anger toward China, right? Anger toward China. So by that time, there is one case in India. One young Tibetan man, he burned his body and showed the world that Tibet is facing a lot of hardship, depression, oppression, right? Oppression by China. Because by that time, China president visit India. So I think we have to look at intention, right? Intention. His intention is anger toward China. It will be self-modification. It may not be the good one. It may not be a good one. That there is one case in Vietnam. One Mahayana monk, he burned his body, said immolation, right? Said immolation. He burned his body. Here also we have to look at intention. His intention. So by that time, Buddhism in Vietnam was suppressed by the government, Southern Vietnamese government. So the president is Christian. He suppressed Buddhist. So that Mahayana monk want to object, the standpoint of government by that time, want to show the world that Buddhism in Vietnam was facing oppression. So it's very successful, right? So the one reporter took the picture and uploaded. It became widespread. So because of that, the Christian president was arrested. I think it was killed. Later he had to stand from his office. So here also we have to look at the intention of a Mahayana monk. Whether he is doing out of anger toward the government, or whether he's doing out of compassion to his fellow Buddhist, right? So we have to look at their intention. So intention is in the Noble Truth, the Noble Eightfold Path is second factor, right? You must have a right view, number one. Number two, if you have a right view, your intention will be right. If you are doing with the right intention, then your action will be right. So maybe earlier my answer is, I answer right away, right? But here I think maybe have to look at our intention. It depends on our intention, right? It depends on our intention. Some people, many people sacrifice their life. They know that they will die, but they still fight for their citizens, right? We have to look at their intention. Even the soldier, normally I say, even the soldiers, we have to look at their intention. Their intention is to safeguard their own country. Their own country. Right? So they look at their citizens. They have a compassion. They have a love fellow citizens. They may do some, actions. Of course, most of the soldiers, they were killed out of anger. Anger toward their enemies. It's not the right way. But we have to look at our own people, right? Citizens. If we are taking action out of compassion to our fellow citizens, may not be, how to say, I want to say it may not be negative one, so negative one. Okay.
Irrespective of whatever the intention is, that. Okay, I'll just repeat my question.
Okay.
Now, irrespective of whether the intention is adosa or aloba or whatever, the bottom line is a life is lost. The person has taken his own life. So isn't that breaking the precept of not killing?
Panadipada. Right?
Yeah, because he's killing himself in the process.
Actually, killing himself is not a panadipada. Panadipada means killing other sentient beings. So the life for other sentient beings, not yourself.
Killing oneself is not considered.
No, actually,
I don't think
it is panadipada. Actually, we already discussed about this under the sila. So here also, even you commit, some monks at the time of the Buddha commit suicide, right? So the Buddha did not denounce all the monks. Maybe the Buddha have looked at their intention, their intention. Some monk, so they disgusted their body, the life. They don't want another existence. Because of that, they commit suicide, and they have a pain in their body, and they contemplated the pain, feeling, and practice vipassana. In that way, they became an arahant. Those monks, even they commit suicide, their intention is not anger, wisdom or understanding. Because of that, the Buddha did not condemn them. The Buddha didn't condemn them. So when you look at those stories, I think, and also when we look at 5 criteria of killing oneself is not a panadipada. When you look at 5 criteria, killing other sentient beings. Ultimately, we have to look at the intention. What is our intention? Whether we are doing for other people, for ourselves, right? Maybe sometime, suppose Titanic case, Titanic case very, very popular, right? Some people, they sacrifice their life to save other people, right? In that way, they kill themselves, right? They kill themselves. But they do it with a good intention. Normally, I want to say lady fast, right? By the time, lady fast. So they have a good intention. When we have a women, then our humanity will grow. So therefore, the gentlemen at the time, so they give priority to women. Then they die, on the Titanic ship. So we have to look at their intention, right? Maybe some of them will be very happy to encounter death. Courage here, right? Courage here. So for that reason, so there are so many examples, right? But we look at the intention. Problem. And
Good evening, Bante. Can I ask you, just now you mentioned about right intention, right? So is the intention more important or is it the outcome more important? For example, in terms of meditation, right, especially in Buddhist view, meditation is part of the process. But then in the Western view, meditation is more for wellness purposes. So if somebody take up meditation, but the purpose is not for the Buddhist perspective, but it's more for the wellness perspective. But throughout the process, they also make the effort to attain all the right views, right action, right effort. So in the outcome, it's still the same. So is it important in the sense in having the right intention and view?
right intention come from right view or right understanding, right? Right understanding. As you know that wisdom, in the wisdom point of view, in Buddhism we have two type of meditation. Number one is a tranquility meditation, or we call it samatha, right? Actually, I think wisdom people, they focus on tranquility of the mind. You set awareness, right? Awareness of the mind. By meditation, they get peace of mind, right? Peace of mind. That's the one meditation method in Buddhism. Another one is vipassana, insight meditation. So when you have serenity, a tranquil mind, peaceful mind, then you can analyze the nature of your mind and the nature of your body. Then you will have a kind of enlightenment, awakening. You will know the nature of mind and body. So knowing the nature of mind and body will pave the way, pay very tremendous benefit. Suppose after practicing tranquility, samatha, then you analyze your mind and body, mental and physical phenomena. Everything come and go, arises and passes away. So you understand that your mind and your body is subject to impermanence, a nature, impermanent. Your body, your mind, and mental physical phenomena where is changing all the time. And that is understanding. That is wisdom. Understand the nature of mind and body, you understand the nature of impermanence, a nature. When you understand the nature of impermanence, you know by yourself that every changes in your body, in your mind, is the nature. One day you will die. One day I will die. That is understanding by yourself. So when you have that understanding or that knowledge, it is really beneficial in your life. Even you encounter death, even if you are going to die, you know the true nature of your body and mind, right? One day I will die. Because of that understanding, you accept the real nature of your mind and body. If you accept it, there's no fear to die. So you have a courage to face your death calmly. So there's no fear. There's no any shaking in your mind, right? In your mind. That is because of vipassana. Vipassana means insight or understanding the real nature of your mind and body. I think in Western way of approaching in meditation is for the first one, right? Tranquility of the mind and calmness of the mind. Of course, when you have a tranquility of the mind, it is beneficial for their life, right? They will have a peace of mind. It will help their body and their head and the way they look at the world, right? But when you go to the next level, vipassana, I think so you will be able to face, all the difficulty in your life. So there will be no fear, and also no stress, right? That I think different between Buddhist approach and Western approach according to meditation. Okay. Recording is still going on. Still going on. Okay. Okay. So now we talk about the importance of the Noble Eightfold Path, right? Importance of the Noble Eightfold Path. Now let's talk about the importance of the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths is a central teachings of the Buddha. Not only that, it is common to all Buddhist schools. Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. They all teach Four Noble Truths. Same, same. No different. So therefore, it is very important. You can learn teachings of the Four Noble Truths in any Buddhist tradition. Of course, they will have a different approach, different way of teaching. In the discourses, it is known as the special teachings of the Buddha. Special teachings of the Buddha, not common to other religions. In Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha said that if there is the Four Noble Truths, so there will be saint or spiritual saint, right? Spiritual saint. Later I will quote that sutta. Another important one in Mahahati-Padopama Sutta, we call it simile or elephant footprint. Simile or elephant footprint. So in that sutta, Venerable Sariputta taught to his fellow monks, friends, just as the footprint of any living being that walk on earth can be placed within an elephant's footprint. And so the elephant's footprint is declared the chief of them because of its great sight. Venerable Sariputta gave a simile or elephant footprint. But someone may say that, how about dinosaur? No, actually, by that time, dinosaur is not common to people, right? Therefore, so by that time, the simile of elephant footprint is the biggest, the biggest. So too, so that means if you put the footprint of other animals into the footprint of elephant, right? So every footprint will go to the footprint of elephant. So too, all wholesome state, kusala dhamma, can be included in the Four Noble Truths. Whatever wholesome mental state, wholesome thing you said, all will be included in the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. We have the Noble Eightfold Path, right? The Noble Eightfold Path are wholesome state. You can put into the Four Noble Truths. We have 7 factors of enlightenment. They are wholesome state. All the 7 factors of enlightenment can be put into the Four Noble Truths. Dependent origination can be put into the Four Noble Truths. Nibbana can be put into Four Noble Truths. Like that. So therefore, Four Noble Truths cover everything, every good things. And I want to quote one sutta from Satya Sanyutta, Sutta number 1, Samadhi Sutta. So most of the meditation masters, they quote this sutta quite often. Bhikkhus develop concentration, samadhi. Cultivate concentration, samadhi. A bhikkhu who is concentrated understands things as they really are. So we need to cultivate concentration. We need to develop concentration. Why? To know or to understand things as they really are. So that means to know the nature of the things. The things here mean mind and body, normally, mind and body. If you know the nature of mind and body, then because you have concentration. When we are meditating, because we are developing mindfulness and concentration, right? Concentration. So when you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, the last one is right concentration, right? Right concentration. When we are developing right concentration, to know, to understand things as they really are, to know the real nature of your mind and body. That's the reason why we are developing concentration. And the Buddha said that. And what does he understand as it really is? He understands as really is, this is suffering. This is the original suffering. This is the cessation of suffering, and this is the way leading to cessation of suffering. Actually, this one is Four Noble Truths, right? Four Noble Truths. You are developing your concentration to know the Four Noble Truths, to understand the Four Noble Truths. It's not really easy. This is suffering, the original suffering. Later we will learn in details. Cessation of suffering, the way that leads to cessation of suffering. Right? Then I will quote one sutta, pointing the importance of the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path. In Sammasambuddha Sutta, the Buddha said that it is because he has fully awakened, fully enlightened to these Four Noble Truths as they really are, that the Tathagata is called the Arahant, Arahat. The perfectly enlightened one, Sammasambuddha. Here you can see 2 words, Arahant. Another one is the perfectly enlightened one. It's very important to understand. Because people think that if you become an Arahant, you still need to do one more thing. No. So if you become an Arahant, you become the Buddha, the perfectly enlightened one. Perfectly enlightened one. The Buddha and Arahant, no different. Of course, we respect to the Buddha, so therefore we call it Sammasambuddha or Sakyamuni Buddha, The Buddha himself called Arahant. Arahant here means the one who removes all the defilement in his mind. If somebody, whether man or woman, whether the poor or the rich, whether the beautiful or the ugly, it doesn't matter. If you can remove all your defilements, all the negative emotion in your mind, you become an Arahant. You become the Buddha. You become the Buddha. It's very important because last Saturday in my Bidama class, one student asked me, is somebody become an Arahant? Can he or she, how to say, drop, how to say, what is it? Huh? De- de- Degress, sorry, decline, no? Decline. No? When somebody becomes an Arahant, can he or she decline? No, no way, you know. In the Pali Canon, it clearly said that. Later I will talk about this, talk about this. So I want to mention importance of the word Arahant, right? And Sammasambuddha. And also look at the stanza that we recite before the Sutta, right? Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Here is the three words, Bhagava, the blessed one, right? And Arahat. Arahat means the Arahant. Arahant means the one who removes all the negative emotion in his mind. Another one is Sammasambuddha, the fully enlightened one, right? So even in this Sutta, you can see two, right? Two terms. So they are the same. So the Buddha has fully awakened to these Four Noble Truths. So therefore, he is called as an Arahant and Sammasambuddha, fully enlightened one. So when you look at the Pali Canon, it's quite clear. So actually in Theravada, we make too much difference between disciple Arahant and the Buddha. There's a very big gap between the Buddha and normal Arahant. So when we start to learn this class, we learn one teachings of the Buddha. There's only one taste in Buddhism. There is only one taste in Buddhism. There's no other two other there's no two different tastes or three different tastes. When you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you will experience one taste, whether you're man or woman. When the Buddha and Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, when they practice the Noble Eightfold Path, they experience one taste. That is Vimoti Rasa. We call it Vimoti Rasa. Liberation, the taste of liberation. The taste of liberation. So when they become an Arahant, or when they become the Buddha, they have a liberation. Their mind will liberated from craving, liberated from suffering. There's only one taste. So therefore, when you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you will experience the same taste that the Buddha experienced. No different. The Buddha clearly said that, right? So therefore, in Buddhism, we have three types of the Buddha. Three types of the Buddha. One is Sammasambuddha, the fully enlightened one, Gautama Buddha. Another one is a Pacceka Buddha. We call it solitary Buddha, right? Or silent. We popularly call it silent Buddha. They appear outside of the Buddha dispensation, and they know the Four Noble Truths, but they cannot teach Four Noble Truths to people. We call it Pichika Buddha. Another one is Sawaka Buddha. Sawaka Buddha means anyone who follow teachings of the Buddha and who develop the Noble Eightfold Path became an arahant. They become the Buddha. They become the Buddha. Anyone can become the Buddha, That's very important. But to become Sammasambuddha is not easy. You need to fulfill a lot of perfections, right? A lot of perfection. Okay. I also want to say importance of Four Noble Truths by quoting two sutta, Kotikama Sutta and Mahaparinibbana Sutta. The Buddha said, bhikkhus, it is because of not understanding, not penetrating the Four Noble Truths, that you and I have roamed and wandered through this long course of samsara. So that means, not knowing the Four Noble Truths, we are encountering a lot of suffering in samsara. Samsara. You are going around samsara. Sometimes go to awful place, sometimes go to good places. You are roaming in samsara because you don't understand the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. So that means understanding Four Noble Truths is important. What are the Four Noble Truths? The Noble Truth of suffering, dukkha, ariya satcha, Noble Truth of the original suffering, the Noble Truth of cessation of suffering, and the Noble Truth of the way leading to cessation of suffering. So these are the Four Noble Truths. So we will analyze in detail in later part. Okay, if you have a question, one question if you want. Any question? Okay, if no question, let's call it a day. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagava gata kecho paragato bala vidiya samangi Dan sukatan saranatamu pemi Raga viraga maninjamasokan Dhamma masangka dhamma patikulan Madhurami mambagunan suvipatan Dhamma mimam saranatamu pemi Yata chadena mahapalamahu Chatusu susisu purisa yogesu Atacha pogala dhammadasate Sangami mansaranata mupemi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.